Los Angeles, a city known for its sunshine, its movies, and its freeways, now the epicenter of some of the most explosive protests in recent years. It all started on Friday, June 6th, when federal immigration raids, ordered by President Trump, swept across the city. The response was swift. Outrage poured into the streets. What began as protests quickly turned into riots. By Saturday, Compton and Paramount were in turmoil. Images of a rioter waving a Mexican flag next to a burning car flooded the news. The message was clear: people were angry. The next day, downtown LA saw a self-driving Waymo vehicle set ablaze during anti-ICE protests. The city, known for innovation, was now a backdrop for chaos. By June 9th, the federal government responded. Hundreds of Marines were deployed. The sight of burned-out Waymo cars and uniformed troops became the new normal in downtown. Tensions peaked on June 10th. Protesters confronted LAPD officers dressed head-to-toe in riot gear. Graffiti screamed across city walls, "Kill a cop, kill Trump." These weren't just words, they were symbols of a city on edge. And then came June 14th, Trump's 79th birthday, Flag Day, a military parade in D.C., and LA's No King's Day protest. Thousands gathered. Rocks, bricks, and commercial-grade fireworks were hurled at police. The LAPD fired back with tear gas and flashbangs. The air was thick with anger and smoke. The protests weren't just loud, they were destructive. American flags burned, Waymo cars and others set on fire. Protesters took over freeways, looted stores, and spray-painted threats on city walls. The government's response was just as intense. President Trump sent in 2,000 National Guard members and hundreds of Marines. He took to social media, declaring that Los Angeles would be burning to the ground if not for the federal troops. But California's leaders pushed back. Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom condemned the federal raids. Newsom's administration even filed a lawsuit against Trump for deploying the National Guard without his approval. A U.S. district judge sided with Newsom, ordering control of the Guard returned to the state, but just hours later, a federal appeals court granted Trump a temporary win, letting the troops stay, at least for now. Tensions flared not just on the streets but in courtrooms and in the media. Trump praised ICE officers as heroes and promised to reverse the so-called invasion through remigration. Meanwhile, a DHS official blamed Democratic leaders for villainizing ICE, saying their rhetoric had gone beyond the pale. All this happened as protesters in LA accused Trump of acting more like a king than a president. That's why they called it No King's Day. So what does it all mean? In just 1 week, Los Angeles became a flashpoint for the country's deep divisions over immigration, federal power, and protest. The city's streets, usually filled with traffic and tourists, became a battlefield of ideas, anger, and uncertainty. It's a moment that will be remembered, not just for the fires and the fury, but for what it says about where America stands right now. Stay safe out there.